Joe.
No.
Welcome.
There you go.
Hi.
Party has started.
I'm here.
Hello, hello.
You're here. We're here. It's a party.
Hold on, I'm gonna leave and come back though because I want to do a video on, but it was facing the wrong way. So BRB.
Okay.
Invite me again. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Hi,
See you in a
DJ.
sec.
Welcome. Hey,
Hi,
DJ.
DJ.
Hi.
Oh my
Did you
God,
just
hi.
Joe said you're on your own.
Yeah,
Joe.
he
You know you got it, man.
said, "Girl, love you."
No. Good sir.
That vote of confidence, though.
Yeah.
Listen, DJ, you're the queen. You got it. You're good.
No, I have anxiety. Where did Joe go?
You're in the right room for that, love. You are in
He'll
the
be
right
right-
room.
he'll be right back.
This is a safe place. This is a
Yes.
safe place. Tell us
Mr.
about it.
Arden.
We got you.
He's coming.
Okay. Okay. Oh, he had to get his
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, vibes.
Worth
There
it.
we go.
Good job. Very proud of you.
You took a page out of your book, okay? We got.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've all got it.
We're all
Yes.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah, so let's take
I-
tally of how many of us are eating Twizzlers right now.
here. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. It's everybody in the
No.
chat. Who's got Twizzlers with him?
They're decorative only.
I was gonna say this one is here, and I wouldn't even feed this to this crystal skull at this point.
Is that petrified?
For show. It's
This one
just
is
for show.
This one is a prop. This is a prop Twizzler.
Well, welcome in. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for today. We all are. So thank you for making time for this. For those who don't know Joe, I'm going to do an introduction. I'm going to do my best, Joe. I'm going to try and do you justice, man. Many know Joe Arden as the narrator, the voice that has become a safe space for so many of us. His gifts reach far beyond the mic. He's known as the king of narration. I've never heard you claim it, Joe, so I'm going to say known as the king of narration. He's also an author, a poet, a stage performer, musician, and I've heard from your team, a community cheerleader, and we've all seen it, 100%.
Oh.
Your artistry has the power to move us and to make us laugh, to break our hearts, and to put them back together again. So what makes Joe truly special is that he doesn't just tell the stories, he inhabits them. He breathes life into them, into the words that linger long after the final line. I'm a victim of that. And today, we don't just welcome Joe as the narrator, we welcome the king, the real Joe Arden.
Wow.
Oh, we're so happy to have you.
Well,
That's so cute. Love it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I took a minute and I felt really closed off because that was unbelievably eloquent, and I wasn't prepared to receive that much so fast. And then I gave myself permission to hear you and take that in, and I really, really, really appreciate that introduction. That means a lot to me. I'm very touched. The way you were able to articulate that and to share your truth in there made me feel really seen and valued, and I am deeply appreciative.
Oh, Joe, don't listen. They have a talent chart for me too, Joe. I'm a crier. Don't do it.
All right. Well, I mean,
I was just gonna say, let's keep the tears to a minimum.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
if I blink, I'm at 1. So I gotta. It's either don't blink and stay at 0, or blink and make it 1.
All right, y'all. We're also going to welcome DJ Krimmer. So, our guest, DJ Krimmer, internationally best-selling romance author, whose books are as bold and unforgettable as the characters that she creates. DJ Krimmer is known for her sharp wit, her love of banter, and her ability to write stories that are raw, messy, and deeply real. She describes herself as the audiophile queen of banter. I second that 1,000%. Queen all day. Tattoo collector, lover of unusual art, and a champion of unique humans. But above all, she is the storyteller who knows how to make us laugh, how to make us cry, and fall in love with every page. So join me in welcoming the queen, DJ Krimmer.
Yay!
DJ, welcome!
Oh, thank you guys. That's so sweet. Well, I should just leave now. I'm on a high note.
It only gets better, baby. It only gets better.
It only goes up from here.
We try. So we're gonna introduce ourselves. I am Kaya, founder, co-president, vision keeper of the Moonlit Margins, and I'm gonna take it to Alea.
I'm Alea. I am the founding member, co-president, community steward, and culture keeper. Breaker of chains, first of her name. All that.
Pop off, girl.
All the titles. All the titles.
And of course, I have to follow that, the breaker of chains. I'm Jess.
This book club, it was a silent nod to Game of Thrones. I wanted y'all to have multiple titles and to be able to put your dick on the table when you introduce yourself. Jesus. All right, go ahead. Yes.
All right, well, it's time for my dick now.
Brace yourself, everybody. Brace yourself.
It's all right. I'm gonna be easy. I'll be easy. I'm Jess, founding member, vice president, coordinator of membership, and I am the gatekeeper of belonging. Kind of like the dragon at the gate, She could be the breaker of the chains. I'm the dragon.
Mishu.
Yes.
I guess I have to follow. I'm Jamaisha, or aka Jay. I am co-founder and also vice president. I am the literary curator, keeper of time and text, and I take my role to heart. Thank you very much.
Yes, she does.
She does it well.
Yes, she does. I'm Becky, Rebecca, however you feel for that day. I am the event coordinator or curator and magic keeper for the group. I'm also known for my quirky little sayings. So if you hear any, just bear with me. Who do we have after this?
So it was Tara, but Tara's having technical difficulties getting in. So
No.
yeah,
Yes.
I know. That was the one I was really excited for you to hear. So Tara is the archivist and the keeper of memories. So she basically documents all of our amazing moments, takes all the pictures, videos, and just archives it and helps us keep our legacy, our story alive, and also helps us circle back, when we're having those tough moments, maybe something didn't go as planned. She reminds us of the things we've already overcome and the good moments, and it's been pretty amazing. So, yeah.
We all need that person in our lives.
Yeah.
Amazing.
A little bit of grounding in the magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mafe, she's in the comments. She's another sister, also a superhero. She works in the NICU. Her husband is a homicide detective. Her whole family is just freaking amazing. She is our creative lead. According to Becky, soon to be mother of her firstborn child.
Oh, second time around. That woman works magic.
Long story short, the lore behind that is Mafe saves us digitally. She is working on our website. She is just creating masterpieces left and right. She's amazingly talented and just the sweetest person ever. Real life superhero, saving babies. It's just, we're always blown away by her. So Mafe is helping with the comments. And then we have Jazzy. So Jazzy's also modding the comments for us as well, but she's in a box, so I'll let her introduce herself.
Oh my God, hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm a newer sister. They just gave me my role, guys. Can you tell him my role? Because it was so epic. I don't want to get
Anchor of support.
Yeah, she's a collaboration steward and anchor of support. We just found out that she's pretty a tech whiz as well, so she'll be helping Mafe with our website and launching everything. We spent a lot of time building, so long story short, she's going to be kind of in the same boat as Mafe.
And I'm super excited to do that. I love these ladies with all my heart, and I'm super excited to be a part of this interview. So I just want to welcome everyone in. Everybody tap and like the screen. Share it to everybody so that everybody can see what wonderful women we are and how wonderful our guests are. So let's get it going.
Thank you. So a little bit about the sisterhood for those who don't know. We are a book club, technically, but we call ourselves the Sisterhood. It's the Moonlit Margins Sisterhood. because we're more than a book club. We uplift each other. We are there for each other outside. Like, our connection goes beyond the pages. We are there for each other. We uplift. We love each other so much, and we connect on so many things. But what keeps us grounded is the book. So if you follow our page, we do have a lot that we are doing. On the page, we have events every month. We have all kinds of stuff going on. We put it out on the page all the time. We have our own corners where we recommend books and we talk about, whatever journey we just went on in a book. But yeah, that's a bit about us. Thank you for the roses. So we're going to hop into DJ Krimmer and Joe. We got you guys some presents.
Oh,
We did.
We designed them. We listened to a lot of your interviews. We have been longtime supporters, so we want to go over them with you real quick. It's going to be a few minutes. But Alea, go ahead.
Yeah, so our first gift, the story, I guess, behind how yes, there it is. Okay, so first off, we've seen that there sometimes is a little bit of confusion with like one of your books will be tagged like Teddy is in it, and then in Teddy's books you'll be tagged in it. And then we did hear a joke about the Daddy Joe, Uncle Teddy, which we thought was hilarious and pretty fitting. So we got both of you one. So there's on one side it does say Daddy Joe, and on the other side it says Uncle Teddy.
amazing.
Now we did hear an interview with you that you talked about how Teddy was in an interview and you kind of like bombed that interview and like jumped in and then like talked with him and had like a fun little moment. And we tried to do the same for this. We tried to have him crash your interview, but unfortunately he's traveling and doing a
Ah,
bunch of stuff. But we did, when we talked to him about it, he did have a really nice message, and we wanted to share that with you real quick.
okay.
So he said, I've always admired Joe, his drive and his business acumen. He's been very good to me through all our work together. In a lot of ways, I have Joe to thank for much of the success I've gleaned. But I'll be traveling on the 18th and am generally obscenely busy these days that I'll have to pass on it, but give him some love for me. So we wanted to
Oh,
share that with you because we just thought that was such kind words for you. So we wanted to share that.
um, those are extremely kind words from a really kind, very cool dude. And yeah, I'm really grateful that you shared that with me. I've missed getting to spend more time with him. We're both pretty busy. And I really appreciate the space he made for, I think, especially for guys in this space to lift each other up and to acknowledge that we can be there for one another in a positive, supportive way. Um, I always try and encourage him to be the best version of himself and to make sure he makes time and space for his physical and mental health, and always celebrate and love the work that he does. And so for him to give me some credit in that regard is deeply felt, and I really appreciate you sharing that. So,
Of course.
yeah, here's to leading with kindness and lifting each other up. It takes the same amount of effort, and it feels a hell of a lot better.
100%. I agree with
Cheers
that
to that.
totally. Yep.
Absolutely.
That's two for your tally, by the way, in case you were keeping track.
I was worried about that.
Don't worry, Joe. I got you.
Notebook. He's got the
Alright,
notebook.
so I got
Anybody have a
challenge for
tissue?
you
Kai is going to give you a run for your money tonight. You're fine.
guys.
We also went ahead and got you a little gift, a little bit of light in the darkness, because sometimes you need a little reminding. Um, it's this lovely trio of candles. They have different scents to kind of set the mood. Aromatherapy is always beneficial, particularly, I imagine you're busy, you're stressed out, you're out here running around. So we just wanted to kind of give you a little coziness, maybe when it's not readily available to you, right?
I love that.
So we have cozy reads, bookstore, and reading by the fire. I want you to
Okay.
think fall. I want you to think blankie. I want you to think, let me take a deep breath and recognize where I am, what I've accomplished, and kind of recenter in that.
Can I tell you what I think those scents should smell like?
Oh, yeah, let's play a
Please
game.
do.
So let's start with Cozy Reads, Joe. What does Cozy Reads give you?
All right, Cozy Reads. Cozy Reads gives me like paper and jasmine kind of vibes. Maybe there's some lavender in there. Not.
Ooh.
Love that.
I love that. I love that. You're actually wrong, but it's a comfort candle, a blend of honey, spice, and tobacco leaves.
Okay, well, the paper tobacco leaf, I feel like I was
That's
adjacent
close.
there.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
We're in the
You're wrong.
ballpark.
Good. She's
So
good.
close.
All right. Almost doesn't count. There's a song about it.
Don't get me started. Don't get me
Next
started.
is bookstore. Now I want you to stay in the same vein, okay? Same
Okay.
vein where you initially started.
Okay, I think a proper bookstore would smell like lavender, vanilla, and endless possibilities.
Ooh.
Love that.
Well, I'll give you a point for that one. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah.
And the last one is reading by the fire.
Yeah, reading by the fire is that's bourbon, cedar, and smoke.
Oh, that's good.
Give it to me
Yeah.
now.
Let's go with that one. Let's go with that.
Yeah. I love that.
Okay.
Okay.
Jess,
Oh,
if you don't mind holding it up when Becky.
Yes. So we got you the best Christmas starter gift or starter pack, even though it's in the middle of September. So we got you the door knockers and from the, is this what we're, what is, don't give me that look. Okay, the door knockers from Muppets Christmas Carol, which is, I agree with you, the best Christmas movie.
Debatable.
We're
No.
Marley and Marley. Ooh.
Exactly. Beautiful. We also did, we also got a Christmas mug.
What's the Christmas mug say?
It says light the lamp, not the rat.
Light the lamp, not the rat. Light the lamp, not the rat.
Oh, I need to watch that already, even though it's September.
It's okay. It's a September. It's a
See, year round.
gateway. It's out of summer. It's into fall, and it just rides right into. There's always room for good feelings, and this version of Christmas Carol is the best feelings.
Absolutely.
These guys are so cool, though. They're
They're adorable.
Statler and Waldorf. I see them up in their little box, criticizing all the art being made, and then there they were with their chains, haunting Ebenezer. I mean, we're in this space celebrating art and creativity, and like those guys are honestly something to be reminded of and take a look at every day. But, like, life is more than numbers and dollar signs. It's about creating and connecting. So I'll smack their face, smack some sense into them as much as possible.
Yes.
There.
Take that, Statler. Oh, I'm Waldorf. Never mind, the both of you.
So I'm so glad you love those because we were like, it is a little early, but we don't know if we'll talk to you again before the new year. So we figured, like, screw it, we're gonna put it in the box. And then the next gift,
Get a tissue.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not gonna
Think
make
about
me cry. It's
gonna make
It
me
made
cry.
me cry. It made me
gonna make-
cry.
I'm going to cry.
Joe, I heard an interview where you were talking about Matilda being your safe space, and not your only safe space. It was just one of the things you mentioned of how when you were younger, being able to go home and like turn that on and have that safe space and like just disappear in that and not have to worry about anything else and how much that meant to you. And when we're talking about it, one thing that stuck out to me is that you said it reminded you that you weren't alone.
Yeah.
So we got a mug. We also got you teas. So we got you like throat coat, all the teas that you mentioned that you like. But we put it in a mug so that you could constantly be reminded that you're not alone. And we all wanted you to just have that constant reminder that no matter how many hours you're putting in, no matter what you're doing, that you're not alone. So we put that on one side. And then the other side is you were talking in another interview about how the woman that had cancer and was going through chemo treatments and listening to over 100 of your books, another woman, like all the different people that you have just made such an impact in their life with your work. And you said that if you could just be that person for one person, just help them and affect them in that way, that your voice is their safe space, or just a minute, or even the book, like whatever you're contributing to is their safe space for just 1 minute, like that would mean the world to you. So I think I could speak for a lot of us. We all have our journeys where your voice has been there for us. So we put on the other side that your voice is our safe space. So
That's really incredible. It's very powerful and very deeply felt. I assure you that I will look to that for reminder and encouragement often. Um, yeah, I was a preteen when I remember holding my dad's hand and my brother holding my dad's other hand as we walked in to go see our mom in intensive care after um, seriously invasive lung cancer surgery, and just for the first time in my life, like realizing so many things that no one could ever possibly prepare you for. And that was a long journey for our family. And I remember one of our favorite photos is actually my mom had a stent put in because she was getting so much treatment. And anytime somebody tells me, like, I've been in car rides with people going to and from their appointments. Somebody wrote me once and said that, like, they were in the hospital with their dad for weeks, and the first thing that they did after he died was put a book on that I was on just to have my voice in that hospital room with them. And every single time I hear a story like that, it reconnects me to the universe. It makes me feel so very not alone. And it reminds me that everything that we shoulder, every burden we carry, every pain we bring with us, is an opportunity for us to shine a brighter light and give more to the world around us. And it's getting shown back on me in so many incredible ways. And I don't know where my mom is, but I know that she would think all of this is pretty fucking amazing.
Well, we're all crying now, so
Seriously,
that's
what?
great. Oh my God. I'm not. Oh, that was beautiful.
So
Well,
welcome, guys.
yeah.
Welcome to the Moonlit Margins, Joe.
Welcome to the show.
Did
I will
anybody,
say, I do want to say that, like, I mean, like she said, I think I can speak for everybody that, like, I've felt that personally, that you have been with me on some pretty rough journeys. So thank you for continuing to share your craft because you truly are so highly gifted, and I appreciate you sharing that with the world, and giving us that escape.
thank you. And to connect it into Matilda, when, like, I was picked on a lot when I was in elementary school and middle school, and um, just because, like, I was a little overweight and I really loved to learn. So that's like a recipe for disaster in like the late part of elementary school. And I just remember there were days where I would go home and, like, open up Matilda and just basically pick any chapter and be reminded that there was this girl in some fictional universe that came from this person's imagination that also loved to learn and also saw the magic in books and stories. And I always just felt safe inside those pages. So for you to tie that together into this moment is like layers of profundity more than I could have imagined. So thank you.
thank you. Oh my God, dang it. Y'all put it really down for me. So both of
Y'all get it together. Get it together.
you, right?
On a lighter note,
So we made both of you a hoodie. There's a quote on the back for each of you, but it's going to be a surprise when you get it. So it has our logo on it. DJ Krimmer, we made one for you too. Joe Arden, we made one for you too. So it's just a black hoodie with a logo and a quote on the back. The quote will be revealed later. It's stuff that we've heard from both of you. But DJ Krimmer, we made you and Joe this mug. We figured it'd be something that you both could share, seeing how you created a masterpiece together. We were listening to your live the other day, and you both were talking about you writing the book together. And you both said that we wrote the story in a loving and efficient manner. So we got that put on one side of the mug for you. And then the other side said, it was something else you both said in the interview. You said, it's both our hearts and both of our souls. So we put that on the other side for both of you.
Thank you.
You can always remember it. So
Damn it! No, I'm crying. I don't like this game anymore.
Hey,
Why
you gotta
hasn't-
let it happen. You gotta let it happen. That's where the authenticity comes from. Just
don't worry, we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna bring it up, y'all. I'm so sorry for that, but
We open on sad and we close on happy. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
as long as
Yeah.
as
I
long as the
promise.
next gift, is a crocheted penis, we're fine. We'll be good. This is
Let me get one of those.
keep it in mind for next time.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah, noted. Put it in the archive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Archive.
But no, we do everything with our whole heart, y'all. The sisterhood, our motto is we're more than a book club. We do everything with our whole heart. We try to meet you where you're at. We try to create a safe space for everyone that we come in contact with. And it's really important to us that we connect with you and not treat you like, I don't know, like a piece of meat. Like, you're a person. Both of you. You're amazing people. And we try to treat you the best we can. So thank you so much for liking our gifts. We're a little nervous about the gifts. But thank you. So we're going to ask you both some questions. Y'all, we're talking about Grimm here. Joe has it on his screen, but I'm going to show you like a close-up. So these two masterminds decided to get together and write a book. So that's what
And it
we're
was
gonna-
epic. It was
It's
so
crazy.
good.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about it. We have some questions for them. Y'all feel free to pop some questions in the chat if we have time. We have people that are modding the chat, so they'll pull the questions up if we have time. But first question, and this is very serious, Joe and DJ. Who gets the credit or the blame for coming up with the hippity hoppity flippity floppities? I gotta know. I gotta know.
He thinks it was DJ.
Yes, DJ.
That was real quiet right now.
No, it was
He's not
me,
taking
but
credit.
it was
What?
me, but I don't want to be the one. I
I
don't want to
was
be the one
not-
taking credit.
Tell us, DJ. Tell us the juice.
Just know it was wonderful. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We laughed out loud. So
I have so many house slippers. So, quick story. My husband is very Southern. He's on deployment right now. He's in the middle of God knows where. But he is very Southern. He's from Louisiana. And I'm from Florida, but I was born in Puerto Rico. And in Puerto Rico, being raised, I didn't wear shoes. Like, that just wasn't a thing. You go to the beach, you don't put on zapatos. There's no chanclas, no nothing. You're free, okay? And I carried that with me my whole life. I'll go outside, like, he'll pull up with groceries. I go to the car, no shoes on. I don't care. I just go to the car. He called me a foot dragon ass, whatever. Yeah. Just imagine his country ass accent. And he's like, babe, you don't just damn shoes. It's a whole thing. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Me not wearing shoes is a whole thing. So he has bought me so many. I have outside house slippers and inside house slippers. It's a whole thing. I'm surprised I don't have shower shoes. It's a whole thing. So when I was reading, and she named them, Rue named them hippity hoppity flippity floppities. I was like, I need to know, where did that come from? What's the lore?
Talk about it.
I need it.
Well, that came from Mr. Arden. That is all his brainchild. What
let's hear it.
he didn't know was, at that time when he wrote it, was that I have a pair of panda slippers that I go around calling my pandemonium walkers. So when I read it, I started dying. I'm like, how does this man know that I have pandemonium walkers? So every time I hear it, I start laughing.
My brother and I used to have those like they were like Bigfoot or like big grizzly bears, and like they're the worst slippers because there's like nothing on the bottom and there's like all this stuffing on the top half of it, so it gives your foot exactly zero support. Your toes immediately become 1,000 degrees inside of there. They're still but they look amazing. And I just had, for some reason, while I was working on that scene, I had this image, and I was like, I think at that point we'd really kind of started to figure out that there was a lot to Rue's personality, and um, I think it's really easy when you start to write a character in crisis to really focus singularly on that point of crisis, on that obstacle that they're facing. And the fact is, nobody has the time or the energy to focus on one thing all the time. No matter how chaotic your circumstances are, there's always moments of levity. There's always these different sides to our personality. And I just thought that this was a really great opportunity for her to reveal a bit of her own sort of fun and her sense of sort of youth and whimsy. Not that she's young, but that she's still just whimsical and loves to be imaginative and unapologetic about the things that make her smile. And it also gave an opportunity for Kane to be repulsed by this, the freedom of expression that goes along with something like that. So
It was
yeah,
wonderful. It was truly wonderful. Like I said, we laughed out loud so much about that, even after we read it. I mean, that's what we call them now. So
I
it
will
definitely,
from here on out be naming every pair of shoes that I own.
as
You
long as you
have
give
to.
them, as long as you give them a pun that goes along with their individual identities, because I was probably even happier with Bunny and Cher. Uh,
Yeah.
when those things just, I don't know, that's just, it's nice when you just start typing away or you're writing away and you just give yourself permission to see what comes and know that it can exist, or it can just be something that you tried and doesn't have to go anywhere else. Um, and I think one of the joys of getting to write with DJ is I always felt free to try whatever I wanted to try on the page. And I knew that I had a voice and a mind that, and a heart that was going to take that information in and give me an honest sense of, what the feedback is and whether or not it resonates with her, and that way we could build it together. And I hope the same was true for her as she wrote sections ahead of me.
Oh, absolutely.
Was it Sarah, DJ? Was it
I
true
said,
for you?
oh, yeah, absolutely. It was very true. Yeah, I I always felt extremely safe writing with Joe. It was okay to just be be free, be goofy. Like if something didn't work and was like, hey, this is funny, but and you didn't have to feel like embarrassed or like somebody was critiquing you. It was just, it was your friend, it was your partner, your safe space. So,
The chicken
I
rings.
imagine that would be really, yeah, that would make a huge difference in how the story comes to life, even. I mean, if you're able to bounce ideas like that off each other and know that, like, if you shoot something that it doesn't land, like, it's all good and you can keep on going. And I mean, it definitely, the chemistry, I guess, between you as writers, showed through on the page. So it worked nicely.
Yeah, you could
Awesome.
tell. I could tell that in your other interviews how both of you spoke about the book. It seemed like you both had like creative freedom. Like there was one part that you mentioned, Joe, where you said that it wasn't as if only you could write Kane and only she could write Rue. Like it was very much like, oh, I have this idea for that character, and you both would just like work it out and mesh well. So can you talk about that a little bit more? Like I wanted to know more, but y'all hop to the next question so quick. What was that like?
DJ, do you have any thoughts or insights there?
um, what was it like? When we started, I made it very clear. I feel like that if we were going to do this, there was no 50-50. We had to be 100% in, meaning that Rue is not my character, Kane is not his character. They are our characters, and that's where the saying comes from. It's both our hearts, both of our souls. Because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, Joe wrote this scene and then I wrote this scene. I wanted it to be so blended that you couldn't see where Joe started and where DJ ended. I wanted him to be as connected to the characters as me and vice versa. I wanted us both to fall in love with this world. Um, because I wanted us both to finish it and have something that we can both share with everybody else. Um, And I mean, I think we did a great job. I mean, I'm not gonna like toot my own horn or nothing, but like,
Girl, toot
I'm
it. Toot it. It was so good.
I'm extremely, Grimm is one of the, I mean, I have 13 books out now, and Grimm is probably one of my favorite because of the experience and the freedom to just be brave and just be bold that Joe, you know, allowed to happen. You know, he's like, no, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it. And I feel like before that, I was very reserved back with my stuff. Yeah, I bantered and everything, but I was like, I don't know. And now I just feel more confident. And that's because of working with him.
That's beautiful.
DJ, I gotta say, like, I love your work, and I cannot imagine you as reserved. Like, listen, I read Beatitude, and
that was not reserved at all, girl. That thing was wild.
Bless them.
It's wild.
I was like, the fuck did I just read?
Listen, no, I also did the audio. I don't know. I think Kaya also did the audio, but I think that like brings like a whole other element. I mean, that thing was a journey.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beatitude was a journey. I was not to go like super deep into it or anything, but I was told that I needed to stay in my lane as a contemporary romance author. And I don't deal well with people telling me what to do.
You're in the good room.
So,
yes,
I read Beatitude, and then I went to Joe, and I was like, "Listen, you're not going to be able to look at me the same after this. So I'm sorry."
And that is facts.
But it has to be done.
Y'all, I felt that way listening to. So I went in blind, and we knew we had this interview coming up with y'all, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to this one. And I went in blind, and I told Leia, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna how do I not turn red when I'm talking to both of them? Like, Jesus.
We had a conversation afterwards, and we were like, "Are we okay mentally? Like, we're a little unhinged because we thoroughly enjoyed that."
Listen, recommended it to get me out of my slump.
I got a special place in my heart for romance.
So do I. So do I.
Well, listen, I love that you're like, I don't do well what people told me. I just told Tara, didn't I just tell you that earlier today?
Yes, like, you did. That's so funny. That's why I was laughing.
I don't like that at all.
Don't tell me what to do. Okay.
My boss told me to have a good night. I said, don't tell me what to do.
So there was something that I got from the book. I read a lot of the reviews, and I didn't see this called out a lot in Grimm. And I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I just took it differently. But one thing that really stood out to me was the way that in Grimm, you both constantly referred to like being a keeper of like memories and stories. And I'm half Mexican, half Black. And in my Mexican heritage, we have Dia de los Muertos, where we have the Day of the Dead, right? So we have every day you put something like you do an altar for a certain amount of days, and every day you light a candle and you put your loved one's favorite food, and every day you feast. You make all your loved ones' favorite foods and you just tell all their stories. I love the unhinged ones. Like, when my mom was telling me that my abuelo used to drink tequila out of his cane, there's a picture of my abuelo, like, literally with his cane like that, and I always wondered, like, what is he doing? I just found out last year he was drinking tequila out of it, so that was pretty fucking cool. It was a whole flask. Like, the whole cane is an actual fucking flask. But, it was so cool to hear, like, everyone's stories, and every year we do that. That's how we keep them alive, and there was, outside of the comedy, outside of the romance, outside of everything, there was subtle, like, moments where you would refer to, like, the person's story and keeping them alive that way. Was that intentional? Or, like, where did that evolve? Did that just evolve as you wrote it?
I mean, I could speak. It's funny that you mentioned this because I'm actually working on the script for My Soul to Take Undead, which is a live stage show that I'm doing this Halloween
New
weekend
Orleans,
in
right?
New Orleans. Yeah, and it's really funny that you mentioned Dia de los Muertos, as that was a I did some research on the shows are October 31st and November 1st, and I try and be very intentional about being present in the moment. So this show is going to try and do what it can to be in that moment, on that day, in this space that honors and celebrates divergent cultures that share traditions that end up emulating and mirroring each other a great deal. And um, I believe this to be true. We we do not die when we stop breathing. We die the last time somebody says our name.
Exactly.
And to the extent that we are able to leave a host of good stories behind. And like you said, they don't all have to be kind. They can be fun. They can be funny. They can be messy. They can be dirty. But what they are ours. They're the ones that define who we are. And when they are memorable, when they are authentic, when they come from that wellspring of joy that is in the center of all of us, then somebody carries that with them and tells that story later. And might share that with somebody else who can show you a picture of that person and tell you five other stories. Um, I think one of the most incredible things about being an artist is leaving a legacy of creation, physically leaving stories behind for whomever, and the magic and the power of stories that can resonate over the course of centuries. Imagine the number of people who read things written in ancient Greece or from Chinese culture 2,000 years ago, and here I am reading it in a in a Starbucks booth in downtown New York or something, and like all of a sudden somebody's words, that's immortality. That's not that's something beyond death. That's human. And so I think that once we knew that Rue was going to be sort of wrestling with her own mortality, I really wanted to face it in the most honest and authentic way possible, and not just be morbid and depressing about it, but really find the nuance and the challenges of it and explore as many shades of it as possible. Um, yeah, and so DJ worked on this first draft of the one of the early scenes, one of the first introductions to actual death that we then see in the story, and they're anonymous characters in this piece. But she wrote it with just such a light hand, such a deft, soft touch to it, that it feels universally human. And it is this reminder of the fragility of these moments and the power of each of them. And then from there, I think it gave us permission to think about what it means to live and what it means to die and who we are and what we leave behind and what remains after we've taken our last breath.
So incredible.
I mean, that's what I felt when I was reading it. There was every time I got to that part, I was like, again, this is just the first time I was like, oh, how beautiful, like that's nice, and then just kept as I read, I was like, wow, like culturally, I felt so connected to it. I was like, wow, and then my husband, like I said, he's from Louisiana, so we got married 14 years ago. He brought me to Louisiana. And I was not prepared for the cultural, like, I would say hug. I want to say punch in the gut, but it was like a hug. Like I didn't feel like a person of color in New Orleans. I didn't feel like a woman. Like in a lot of spaces I go to, I get like looks from guys. I get like it's weird spaces, right? But in New Orleans, I call it the heart of the U.S., the heart and soul of the U.S. because in every bite of food you take, you taste the love. They put their whole soul into it. You taste it. You just know. And every space that you're in, the music, you feel the soul, like their heart that they put into playing each song. You could be walking down like Jackson Square. It doesn't matter. Like anywhere you go there, you're so welcomed. The way that they treat you like family, every restaurant, every space. So when I saw that Grimm was based in New Orleans, and then I started reading it, and I thanks for making us ARC readers, by the way, that was awesome. So Alea and I were both ARC readers. We were reading it together. We just video chatted each other and we were reading it, and in those moments, I was like, God, and she's like, what part are you on? I was like, I just Yeah, like it was just. It made me feel so seen. It made me feel very connected to like my husband's home, to like my Mexican culture, like all of it. It was just so beautiful, both of you. So I don't know if you've heard that from other people. That's what I got from Grimm, and I thought that that was really beautiful.
And I thought it was great, like especially hearing you kind of explain it a little bit deeper, because I think, there's always like that thought about, when somebody dies, it's always like, such a mournful thing, and the fact that you can bring some beauty into that, by keeping the memories of them alive and things like that. That's really beautiful, and I don't think a lot of people, think of things that way. So that's a really nice take on it, and a really nice spin that you put in the book that, it kind of made it beautiful too. So, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Um,
I'm from New Orleans, and here, born and raised, our dead continue to tell their stories
We're
through
gonna say
everything, through
unalive.
food.
You gotta quit saying the D word.
Oh
TikTok,
yeah,
okay?
unalived,
No,
unalived.
not. Yeah. Well, we dance with our ghosts in the street every day. The way that we celebrate those who have passed are literally with second lines. I work on Canal Street, downtown New Orleans, and on a Tuesday, they'll stop traffic for a second line.
Yep.
And you know that there's going to be a repast after that, that there's going to be food, that there's going to be laughter, that there's such a celebration around it here. I just thought it was well done. I thought it was well done in the book. I loved the reflection, the storytelling, the nod to my home. Good job, you two. It was good.
I think that you've hit on something here too that is really special and powerful that I'm not even sure you're aware of. The intersection between, I'll call it the end, so we're not saying the D word a lot.
Thanks for
The
that.
intersection between the end and food is much richer than we think. What's one of the most common questions that somebody asks you about the end? What would be your last meal? It's probably it's probably one of the most like significant, like it's the most commonly asked question. Why? Because food is an exploration of somebody else's soul and your own. Your tastes meet somebody else's story and somebody else's heart. And oftentimes, we talked just a minute ago about legacy and ancestry. How many recipes do you know that are passed down from generation to generation? More of us
100%.
know our ancestors through cornbread and dumplings and tea recipes than we do any story about the homecoming they went to or the first date they had. You can feel it in the cookie recipe, and you can taste it in the jambalaya, and that's where it lives. Like so much soul in there. And
That's also
again,
how we add the comfort. We comfort people with food after that loss.
Yes.
We're saying, what can I do for you? Let me feed you. Let me hold you. Let me nourish you in your time of falling apart. Food is across cultures. It's what brings us together. It's
and there's a ton of it in Grimm. I mean, there's a ton of it.
Yeah.
There is the etouffee. We're not gonna talk about the scrambled eggs situation.
We don't. Are we not? Do we not enjoy the soft scramble recipe that immediately precedes the hippity hoppity?
we're not gonna spoil it. You
Okay.
know?
I don't spoil it for anyone, but I will tell y'all there's a moment where there's a little, how do you make your eggs? We're just leave it there. It's a good time. I mean, to go from the etouffee and everything else to that whole scrambled egg situation, that was hilarious.
Listen, I'm just gonna say I was here for that whole scene. The whole time I was like, teach me how to make eggs.
No, we were reading it
Teach me.
together. We're reading it together,
Teach
y'all. And
me.
I was like, here's me. Like, video chatting. I said, can he hop off? Can he just let her make the damn eggs? Like, what is going on right now? And she's over there, teach me, honey.
I was like, tell me more about how to make eggs. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a girl. Teach me more.
It was
Absolutely
so
wonderful.
Y'all, and listen, everyone, if you end up getting Grimm, pick a buddy. Like, get a buddy. Have them do it together, because when I say Alea and I had so much fun, like I loved her insight. We were both just vibing. There was a lot. We're all just a girl, exactly. Like
Yeah.
it it was so cool. It was so cool to hear because she was like, I found that really romantic. I was like, I found it like passenger seat driving. Hop off. Like,
I was all about it. I was all for it.
Quick shout out. If you find yourself in the Los Angeles area on Vermont in Los Feliz, there is a French bistro called La Poubelle. The woman in there makes the best soft scrambled eggs I have ever had. Just order the soft scrambled eggs with a piece of bread, and it will change breakfast for you forever.
Nice. Take note of that.
Well, we got it.
so every character in Grimm feels very just distinct. How did you bring them to life? Does Kane's sarcasm mirror both of you? Like where I feel like every character is just polar opposite of the other. And I don't know if you both had like a world building session, like what you did, but is there any like influence there? Like, does it mimic you? Does it mimic loved ones? Like, where did that come from? Each character.
DJ, I miss your voice, so I want you to speak.
Same.
If you.
You know my voice. That's so sweet. I'm not sarcastic, guys. I don't know. The Kane's not like me at all.
I don't
No,
believe that for one bit.
I mean, you can believe what you want. I'll back you. No, I feel like everybody has a story, right? You know, I mean, we're all the star of our story. And when I write, I don't like side characters. I hate that term because I feel like they're all the main character in their story. You know, they got a personality, they got something going on in their life. They're not just here to thicken the book. You know, they got something going on. So I have a quirk, you know, if somebody's going to be introduced to a book of mine, I want them to leave a lasting impression on you. So yeah, I mean, all of the characters, you know, from the main ones, Kane and Rue, Big D, Steve, Joe.
Big D's actually my favorite. As a
Big
side
D,
note.
listen, Big D's my man. I love him. I have no shame over that. But no, yeah. Who's yours?
The dog that reminded the man to take his medicine and like
Aw.
So cute.
take care of
Winston?
Winston. So,
I think you should have got
Winston
more.
is actually was my dog when I was a
Oh,
kid. Yeah, yeah. Winston. So yeah.
oh, that
Yeah.
hits
He was
deeper now.
Yeah,
he
right.
was my little buddy. He was my little buddy. But yeah.
I have mine
No.
now. So
But no. Oh my
Aw.
gosh. Okay, yours actually is little. No, Winston was a black Labrador.
she's
He was
3
actually-
pounds. Okay, she's 3 pounds. Her name's Luna. And when I was reading about that dog, I looked at Luna. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like useless. Absolutely.
She just lays there. She just lays there.
You just fucking lays here. Like you don't remind me of anything to do anything with that. Like these.
But look listen, she's an extension of you.
No, I get that though. I mean, you know, I have a dog. His name's Benny. He's a golden retriever, and it's funny because in my book Atlas, he is a Atlas's book. The female character has a service dog, and her service dog, she calls it her little flunker because he flunked out of service dog school because he has an anxiety disorder. So with my chronic
Sounds like me.
with my chronic illness, I needed a service dog, so I got Benny. And sure as shit, after putting $3,500 into this school, they're like, "Yeah, we can't certify poor Benny. He's got a panic disorder, and he can't tell the difference between being nervous because you're leaving or being nervous because your levels are off."
Oh, love
Poor
him.
buddy.
But
you
listen,
still need a service
that
animal.
but listen, that poor boy, he tries with his whole heart. So we love him anyway.
All that matters.
An A for
All that
effort.
he's giving it his all.
At least you tried, okay?
He
You
did.
tried.
You know, he tries. He does try. He tries his best, and that's we love him for that.
When I read
But
that
no,
part, I was like, that dog is so amazing. I love it. So it's the dog, then Big B, and then Kane. That was it for me.
I like Kane. He's cool. He's cool. I mean, you know, he's kind of arrogant, but you know, whatever. I don't know.
I love
He seems kind of like a know-it-all with all his book
Little bit.
knowledge and shit.
He's
Some
still
people are
fine.
into
And
that.
just for the record, the only way to eat eggs is not to eat eggs. So I'm just saying, cancel me if
I
you
can't
will.
eat scrambled
And
eggs.
the
So
I
you
can't
just
eat
made a,
scrambled
you just made a lot of people mad all at the same time. Collectively, we were judging.
I'm shocked. I'm not judging.
I can't do scrambled.
I will eat scrambled eggs only, but they have to be well done, and they need ketchup on it.
Mm-mm. We're gonna have to turn this into like a whole separate conversation because I feel like this is gonna be longer.
I
The
definitely.
next
in case
She said
you
ketchup.
were wondering who was the egg connoisseur in that scene, it was not me,
the one with the rack. The one with the rack.
right? Yeah, because I
Now, I
gagged the
guess
whole time.
I've never had ketchup on eggs, so I can't really knock it until I try it, but it sounds horrible.
I
good.
did when I was a
It's good.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's not bad.
Everybody likes what they like.
I grew up
Including
poor
my
in
6-year-old.
Appalachia, so we ate hot sauce and ketchup on everything because it's the only way you were going to get any flavor for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You learn something every day. You know, I just said we're not judging, and I'm like, it's diabolical.
I know who would have thought eggs?
Here we go. Saying
Hot
this
with
is
eggs.
That's what undid us. Eggs.
Eggs.
Okay, so fate and time. When I was reading about them, I honestly all I could picture was the
Say
great
it.
sisters from Hercules. Like
Yes, thank you.
eyeball. The way they all
Thank you.
describe them, like when they talk, and Joe, feel free to like do a voice for them because I tried imagining it in my head, and all I could hear was like the sisters from Hercules, like the shirt and eyeball, the Grey sisters. Where did the inspo come for them? Like, did you were the sisters from Hercules the Grey sisters?
Wait
Like,
until you hear the audiobook. They did phenomenal when I was listening to the ITV. Oh my gosh, I love them.
okay,
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need to hear my voice because June DeBorahay and
June
Maxine
DeBorahay.
Mitchell will
Oh
do
yeah. Oh my
have
gosh.
done far more justice to
Phenomenal.
fate and
Bloody
time
dope.
than I would. Um, they came about because every story needs antagonists and every action has a counteraction. And for everything that one person does in service of their own ends, there is oftentimes somebody somewhere else that is on the receiving end of that push. And what makes for dramatic tension, what makes for interesting stories are the moments where forces come into opposition. And so when we started, we kind of hit this place early on where it was like, all right, well, Rue and Kane are going to sort of defy the sort of hierarchy and play a bit by their own rules here. And then the next question then is, well, who suffers when they do that? Who's going to be the most upset by that? And we realized that the two people responsible for creating all the stories, for crafting the narratives, for ensuring that things happen when and how they want them to, would be the most upset about anybody messing with that. And we were at a point in the storytelling where we thought, well, they can just be fate and time. They don't have to be personified or humanized in any additional way. They can just be sort of bigger than that. And so they are. And there they are with Big D, these big personalities, these massive powers who are just as petty as your neighbor who always gets mad when you throw stuff in their trash can.
Yeah, they
That's a
were
good analogy.
intense.
they were. Okay,
Yeah,
and then my
Jason
last
did a
question.
phenomenal job.
So, before I kick it to Leia, my last question is the prologue. Madness leaves no room for reason. I mean, do you love us or do you hate us? Like the prologue alone sent me. Like
Jaw
I
on the floor.
yeah, we Alea and I, that was intense. I mean, where did that? Did you guys just decide like, okay, we're gonna write this book, we're gonna put them on an emotional roller coaster, and like, buckle up, bitches? Like, what was going on with that? Like, where did you decide that? Was that a decision? Was that intentional to put us on an emotional roller coaster just in the prologue, and then just ease us? Like, what was the thought process with that? Because I want to say I made like 3 videos just about the prologue alone. And that's never happened for a book for me, ever.
DJ, would you like to chime in here?
He's such a gentleman. Isn't he such a gentleman?
Always.
Isn't he? He's so sweet. Yes, I wanted to hurt all of you.
You did.
Own
You
it.
did.
Own it. Yes.
You can send your tears. I use them to sign my books. No,
So much.
you know, I don't know. Like, all I had to go on is like what I've done in the past, which is every single one of my prologues, people will be like, "Whoa, that was rough," you know. Well, you know, because I feel like the prologue is kind of like almost like your elevator pitch, and I want to grab you by the throat and be like, "Are you ready? You're gonna listen," and that's what I want. And then so we went back and forth on it, and I we both knew what had to happen in the prologue. The prologue had to be a certain way. It had to start a certain way in order for us to progress with, Kane and everything. So I mean, it was a lot of back and forth, wasn't it?
Can I gently disagree? Can I gently disagree with you here?
I don't care. You can
Okay.
first.
I mean, I think what we came up with was Kane's backstory was one of the first things that we kind of figured out. That it would be the prologue, I don't necessarily think we assumed was the right place to put it in the story. And in fact, more often than not, when I work on these books, very often the main male character in these stories are emotionally guarded. And one of the bigger emotional scenes near the end of a book is when that character then reveals some pain, some hurt, some trauma. And it builds the tension, but it is very, it's the way it happens in a lot of these stories. This assumption that the guy kind of keeps this close to the vest. And I'm like, well, how can we do something a little different with that? We can keep Kane that way, because Kane would be very guarded emotionally, and this wouldn't be a story that he would volunteer. But guess what? If we make that story the prologue, anyone reading knows the story throughout. He may not have told Rue, but then as a reader, you're inside the story and you know something that the main character doesn't know. And there's nothing more fun than having information that the characters don't have, I think. And waiting to see how that's going to manifest, or seeing something in Kane that Rue doesn't see, and seeing the way she responds, and just thinking like, oh, but you'd respond differently to this if you knew this other thing. And so it creates, I think, these really kind of fun moments where you are connected to and repelled from the characters in a unique way. And that was when I think we really dialed in and said, you know what, this is thematically on brand with what we want to do with the story, and let's, like DJ said, not pull any punches and let everybody know what's going to happen inside this story straight out of the gates.
Well, I definitely knew why you had a tally. I knew why you had a tally. It was like 34 when you did the audio, because just that I was crying with, like, I think page 3. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh God, shit. If I'm crying at page 3, I'm donezo for the whole book. So
I'm telling you,
it was shocking.
Alea and I literally, like, if y'all go to my page, Talk Books with Kaya, you'll see the grim background. And you'll see, I forgot his name, but he's in Pitch Perfect. He was one of the I can't remember his name. You'll see it. Just click the ones with the grim background. And I put every emotion, like every 2 seconds. That was the whole roller coaster. I went on and this is the prologue, and I looked at Leia and I was like, girl, that was just the prologue. She's like, buckle up, bitch. We're in it. We're in it.
And it was done so beautifully too, because I feel like the whole buildup of, from the start of the prologue to the end, the buildup of what was happening, it was so intense. And I personally was like, I did not see that coming. Like,
No.
it hit me from left field. I think it was done so beautifully and just kind of making you kind of like, oh, okay, like, well, what's gonna happen? And then for the part to hit finally at the end, you were just like, what in the world? And we literally just sat, I think we sat in it for a good 10 minutes, and we were just like, man, I mean, pulling quotes from there. I mean, there's already so many beautiful quotes just in the prologue. I think she quoted that one, madness makes no room for reason. Such a deep quote. And I was like, we're not even,
You were
we're
annotating like crazy. Like,
Oh,
so many. I annotated, like, I don't even know, like 12 things just in the prologue. It was intense. So kudos on that, because you guys did wonderful. Like, really, your intention was to grab us. You fucking grabbed us for sure.
yeah.
I
My
felt literally, like, to put it literally, I felt like I just got, like, gripped by the
Like,
chair.
yeah, like, listen.
yes.
Pay attention.
Yeah. My gasp was so loud. My dog started barking. My son came out of his room like, "Are you good?" And I said, "It's my book. It's fine. It's just my book." It was
I
wonderful.
think it's a testament to the storytelling of that first part that nobody here wanted to give any spoilers for the prologue.
Yeah.
Like, normally when you're talking about a book, if it's been out, you're like, listen, if we talk about the first 15 pages, like, it's not the end of the world for anybody
You
going in. And
can't.
you guys are literally keeping the end of the prologue
We're not
tight,
saying shit.
which
It's
I think,
needed.
again, I think that I'm taking that as a compliment to the beginning of the storytelling. I'm very
Huge.
excited.
Definitely you
Well,
should.
we want
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
to experience it. We want all of you to have that moment, y'all. Like, I'm not lying. The prologue alone, that was it for me. I made a whole charcuterie board. I was like, I need snacks. I need,
Yeah.
I need my.
Emotional
I had my
support I
son.
need.
Yep.
I had my son go get my weighted blanket from upstairs. Like, a bitch got anxiety. Like, so serious, y'all. It was so serious. No, that was cool. That's it for me. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, but so kind of speaking in just the beauty in the prologue, I mean, the whole book alone, I mean, it weaves together so many different emotions, from like pain to healing. Obviously there's romance in it, and it's done in such a beautiful way. But what was something, or was there something for either of you that was like really difficult emotionally for you guys to write?
I like how they both just politely wait for each other. That is the sweetest thing. Like, it shows their respect. It's so beautiful.
Definitely.
Well, I will say, as I don't know if this is a masculine tendency or if it's a me tendency, but I feel like I've noticed this in academic settings throughout my life. I feel like men, generally speaking, tend to be quicker to speak. And I have really tried to be intentional. Because you asked me a question, and like, I've done improv, like, there's ideas constantly bouncing around my head. And I've been really trying to make space for just like taking a deep breath and allowing some silence to be there for somebody to say something smarter than what you just want to vomit out of your mouth. So, uh, uh, so I come by the silence, hard earned, I guess is what I'm saying. But, and hopefully this sidebar has given DJ an opportunity to think of something that she would like to say to answer that really challenging question.
Joe, you're my best friend. You know
Aww.
that? You are my best friend right now. Um, yeah. So the hardest thing in the book that I wrote, uh, was without giving away anything, was when Rue was in the darkness. Um, that was probably towards the beginning of the book. That was probably the hardest for me to write. It hit me the hardest. I've, as we all do, I've suffered a lot of loss. Some I've dealt with, some I haven't, and that moment, writing those feelings, and again having the permission to write without any restraint, allowed me to pour emotions that I had been holding back for so long, onto those pages. So yeah, I mean, that was probably one of the hardest, the helplessness, the loneliness, the fear, the confusion. That was probably the hardest for me to write.
Yeah, I can imagine that is. So, I mean, to be vulnerable like that enough to like share that, to be able to put that to a page so that we can, experience that. Like, I can't imagine that the difficulty that would take. But it's beautiful. Again, I mean, you did it beautifully. It was done so well. I mean, you could really feel it. You could feel the kind of panic and the worry and the questions, and you could really feel it come through. So
Yeah,
yeah, well
and I
done.
appreciate, thank you, and I appreciate that. And I mean, again, having Joe there to say it's okay, not that I needed a validation, but I will be honest, because I don't have that in my life. I've never had somebody say, hey, it's okay to feel something besides, you don't have to mask every feeling. You don't have to be okay all the time. You don't have to keep this mask on all the time. And working with him, I think that's probably the one thing that I struggled with the most, was being vulnerable. But once I got it, it was just so freeing, that I feel like it made me a better writer, a better person. So yeah, I mean, I'm immensely grateful that I was able to put that in there, and then he was able to put his twist into it and make it into this really beautiful mesh feeling apart.
Not to do too much, but I would like to say, thank you for sharing that vulnerability. For sharing that vulnerability for other people to consume. That's a big, brave thing, especially for someone who doesn't fall into it naturally. It is okay to feel those feelings, but to have it on a page, to have that be part of you in that story, to be remembered, to be told, to be consumed by other people. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I don't do well with thank yous. Sorry. I'm still learning.
I will compliment you again.
I'm learning to accept it. I accept your praises and your gratitude. Thank you.
Hey, DJ, can I offer something that's really helped me in the same vein? And instead of saying thank you or I accept that, I just receive it and acknowledge it. So I'll just say, I receive what you're saying to me, because that honors the vulnerability of the person saying the kindness, and it gives me permission to take time to process it and believe as much of it as I can in any given moment. That's really helped me, just finding that language of receiving prior to acceptance. And, so if that helps you, take in those kindnesses, you should use it. It works for me.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I receive it. And I'm going to try really hard not to say thank you. It's a natural.
You can you say whatever you want to say. You should say thank you. Somebody does something nice, absolutely. I'm just saying,
no more thank yous. No, but seriously,
I don't like when people are nice to me either. I don't like it.
Well, it's a skill. It's a whole skill. So I'm gonna tell y'all, if you look in the comments, my mom is Sassy Sunbeam. She's okay, the Mexican mother just like showing up. My whole family is in the comments, not gonna lie. Like they're all here.
Mine too.
But let me tell you, if you were in our household, I'll tell you a quick story what happened. We had a neighbor that came to my birthday a couple years ago. My husband threw this amazing birthday party for me. And this one neighbor came over and she was beautiful. She's naturally beautiful, but this night she put makeup on. So we were all like, what the hell? We never seen her with makeup. And we were like, oh my God, you're so pretty. So my mom tells her, Mika, you're so gorgeous. You look like a Disney princess, and like kept, complimenting her. And she's like, oh no, I don't. And my mom's like, no, Mika, you're gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh, I want Mika. Like going on and on, right? And she kept saying, no, instead of just thank you, right? Like just going with it. My mom slapped the fuck out of her and said, learn how to take a compliment. So,
Why is it that mentally I can see your mom doing that?
Yes.
100%.
So I had a mentor in graduate school who actually shared a very similar thing to me, because one of our instincts, if we either don't believe in ourselves enough or we haven't really made room for our own success or skills, we will deflect. We'll deflect a compliment. And one of the ways we'll do it is by denying it. Somebody will say, you did a great job on stage. You were really wonderful. Oh, no, I felt off. Oh, and he said to me once, he said, every time that you do that, you're actually insulting the person that is talking to you. They're saying something to you that you're then denying. It's actually really rude. So even if you don't believe it, just to make space for them to feel it, to receive it and hear it that's just polite. Forget whether or not you can believe it yourself. Don't be rude when somebody says something nice to you by denying their truth, especially when it's a kindness directed in your direction. So, and they're
I've never thought about it like that.
About it, all caps.
you saw that?
Yeah. Kai, your mom agrees wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that. That's a nice
Alea,
way to look at it.
Call mom. She will tell you.
It helps.
That's so rude.
It helps. It gets the power off of you. It puts it back on them, and it just makes you a vessel to receive something instead of having to engage. It's great.
Right.
I'm gonna keep that in mind because I do that all the time.
Yes.
When I first started talking with Joe, and he did my book Atlas. He had me on his Discord stage, and he was talking with me, and he was giving me this compliment. He's like, your writing's really good and everything, and I was like, oh, it's okay. And he told me that exact story, and I felt so bad because I'm a chronic people pleaser. So I'm like, oh my God, I just insulted this guy. So I took that though, and since then, and it's been, oh my gosh, I think you did that almost a year ago. I have been trying so hard that when somebody gives me a compliment, to pause and be like, okay, if I deny it, I'm being rude. Let's try to accept it or receive it at least. So, and it does make a difference. The person that's saying it, they seem happier and more engaged, and you don't feel so negative about yourself when you do it. After you've done it so many times, it's like instead of being like, no, I did this, it was terrible, blah blah blah, you just say, thank you, I appreciate your words. Yes, I really enjoyed this or that I created. Yes, I worked really hard on it. Saying these things, it does kind of build you up. It builds up your confidence, and it does make you a lot more proud of your accomplishments.
I'm telling you, join the sisterhood, girl. When I tell you, we are so, we're our own worst critics, but let us be in a space together. We'll send a picture. Jess, for example, sent a picture, what did you say a couple days ago, Jess? Look what I found in my camera roll that's convenient for this moment, whatever. Oh my, bitch, you are bad. Oh my God, you look amazing. We will help. uplift and you gotta accept it, or else we're all just gonna keep going. We're just
do, and then we get mad at each other if we don't accept it. It gets weird, so then you have to take it. So
Yep.
you'll learn to take it in.
Yeah. Finally, you'll be like, okay, fine. Thank you. Yes.
Oh my
I know.
God, I'm pretty. Chill out.
I get it.
I told
Yeah.
Alea and I were on the phone this morning, and she said something about her. So I said, "Don't talk about my best friend like that. Don't talk about my sister like that." She was like, "Oh my God, like that's it. That's what we do." But sorry, Alea, I'll let you get to your next question. My bad.
Yeah, no. So, for me, I felt like Grimm really, to me, seemed like a very layered character. He really embodied like the darkness and the danger of what the Reaper is, what we know the Grim Reaper to be. But you guys did a really beautiful job of also making him very deeply human and kind of shaping him into somebody that really like we could still relate to, even though he was this, paranormal character. We could really still relate to him because of his humanity. So how did you guys do that? How did you guys shape him into that?
It's a fine line.
All right, so you can answer that if you have anything.
Um, well, I think you can only write from a place of what you know. And one of the things that was really eye-opening for me the first time I really connected to science fiction and fantasy writing was realizing that in the space of a fantastical world, we can still speak to the same human truths that we know. And in fact, we can do them in more dynamic and imaginative ways by creating a whole universe and a world around which these people interact and feel. And at the end of the day, feelings are feelings. It doesn't matter if you're a 10-foot tall dragon or if you are a minister of the afterlife or if you are, a teenager going to middle school. Like feelings are feelings. And so every story is an invitation to tap into and explore some truth about what it is to feel. And I think that you asked a question earlier about like where the characters come from and what that character creation is like. There's an acting exercise called the mirror exercise. Do you guys know what this is?
No.
You're like, so two people stand opposite one another, and one side is A, the other side is B, and the teacher will say A, and A starts moving, and B's job is to mirror whatever A is doing. And then they'll say B, and then so you switch the leads. So B is leading and A is following. And you go back and forth and back and forth. And the idea is after a time, you shouldn't have to say A or B. There's this unspoken connection happening between these two people, and you are moving fluidly. Nobody knows where one starts and the other ends. And I think what's magical about fiction writing is that there is some moment where a author, or in this case authors, come up with an idea for a character and give this character the shape and the outline of a personality. And somewhere along the line, that character becomes a real entity. And then that person makes their own decisions and brings their own feelings to life to the point where by the time you've gotten a third of the way or halfway into a story or wherever it clicks over, you think to yourself, Kane would never say that. Grimm would never talk that way. Rue would never, like, all of a sudden they've made themselves known, and you can't really like pinpoint a moment. It's this really magical thing that happens, and it's all imagination, and it's really cool. And I think that that's where Kane kind of ended up, where his humanity and longing and they kind of just started to sort of take center stage. One of the first moments that were really revelatory for me with him was that Rue could touch him. And I think about how powerful human touch is, especially when we've been denied it. I think one of the hardest things, what's one of the things that Mother Teresa did more than anything else? She would touch people. She would hug somebody. Sometimes, like, you see somebody on the street who's food or house insecure, and like, one of the things that they're also very lacking is just human connection. And I mean physical human connection. What it feels like to hold somebody's hand. What do we do when we're with that person in their bed as they're breathing their final breaths and sharing their moments? We hold their hand. We physically touch them. We create a bond that we can feel so that everything we can't say has a place to go. And that's what happens early in the story. After centuries of being bereft of that and torn from that, all of a sudden, touch and the power of that. And so, how do you not write a human after you find out that truth in him?
Yeah, that was a very pivotal moment. I mean, and I guess even understanding that when I was reading it, that, he hadn't been touched in a long time. I mean, you'd think you putting the word centuries, like that just takes it so much deeper. Like, imagine the loneliness that he felt from that. And then, like you said, in one small instant, that all went away. And he, finally got to feel that connection again. That's powerful.
I think it reminds me of the scene when she sees him first reap, and it's the elderly couple, and they're feeling so much feelings on both sides, right? And she's like, but she tried to kiss him, and he's like, yeah, that's what humans do. They try to bond with that physical touch, and it brings to mind obviously consoling somebody as a mother. My children are constantly touching me, but I'm also reaching for them. The touch of it all is such a big part of the human connection. It's a big part of what we all crave when it's not there with the people we love, the children we hold, the friends that we, reach for in hard moments, our partners. Just hearing them and touching feet to go to sleep with them brings that closeness. And I particularly loved how jarring it was for him because he wanted it so much. Like, that touch is what turned him back into that OG lover boy. You know what I mean? It's what broke him out of that black suit, no nonsense.
That's actually what his slippers say. They say OG Loverboy. They're really soft.
OG Loverboy, centuries. He's been in the game centuries for love.
His slippers. They're really soft, black leather, really like worn in with like a very thin sheepskin interior, and they say OG on one and Loverboy on the other. So
Heck yeah. So on a lighter note, something that I really loved was the banter, of course, between all the characters, not even just, Rune Kane, but like everybody. There was a nice balance of like the happy, goofy stuff with the heavier aspects. Is that something that you guys tried to actually like put in that, or was that just something that you kind of, as you're writing, it just kind of flows out naturally?
I don't know about Joe, but like with me, it kind of flows out naturally.
The queen of
I
banter.
Queen.
I don't know if it's a trauma response or what, but like when something super stressful or sad is happening, it's very common for me to make a sarcastic remark or a witty
Or laugh,
response.
yeah.
Girl, I feel you.
So I write a lot of that into my books. So for me personally, it's just one of those natural things. So I don't know, Joe, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I think that it's probably the start of a really challenging road if you are trying to be funny. I think if you're trying to write something funny, it's a tough place to begin. One of the things that I'm always fascinated by is when I write something or when I read something that makes me laugh or that I hear somebody laughing, and it takes me by surprise. I think at the end of the day, you've got to write what is true and what is honest, and the best writing is authentic and specific. And when you can start there, you're going to connect and evoke an emotional response. And sometimes that'll be laughter, and sometimes that'll be a sigh, and sometimes that'll be a tightness to the chest, but something will happen there. And So you've got to lead with honesty. Whether even if you're doing improv comedy, like even if even if the people are there to laugh, if you're trying to make them laugh, you're fighting an uphill battle. If you're trying to be honest and connected to a scene, there's an opportunity for the absurdity of what it is to just be a person to shine to the surface and for us to have a fun laugh at it together.
Yeah, and it did feel very natural. When I was reading it, it was like laugh out loud moments, like genuine, just like happiness and joy. And then, like I said, it was a nice kind of momentary relief because obviously the book does have a lot of heavier aspects. So I appreciated that there were those breaks in that, and that it did just feel just very natural with the banter between them. Um, so I guess in that, do you guys ever, as you're writing it, do you guys kind of have those same moments that we have when we're reading where we just like break out into laughter? Do you guys have that when you're writing it? Like you almost like weren't expecting it to, happen until it, ended up on the page.
I don't. I'm I I'm so focused on the words and getting the words out. I'm not responding to them at all. So I'm just like, get them down,
Yeah.
get them out of my head and onto the page before I forget them.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't, I'm very much like a method writer. So when I'm writing, I write in that character. So it doesn't occur to me that I have like purposely made a joke or purposely done something really, really sad. It's not like I sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to write this really sad scene. So, but when reading back, it's like, oh, that was funny. And then I'm like, oh, I wrote that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like, at what point then, like, do you guys, is it when it's completely, finished and you guys finally sit down and you read from, from beginning to end that you're finally like, oh, wait a minute, like that was good, you actually
Well,
see
for
it
me, it
play
was when
out.
we were doing the in studio production of the audiobook because it's like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm in the control center with everybody and I'm like listening to them, all the actors perform, and I'm like, oh, that's really funny. That's clever. And they look at me and they're like, you wrote the book.
Yeah.
You wrote it. It was you.
You're funny and you're clever.
So yeah.
So then, my actual like favorite funny moments and like one-liners were actually like all of Death's. Like he was just so like
Wow.
nonchalantly comedic. He just was. It was so wonderful. But for you guys, who for you did you feel like had those like best one-liners or
And when we
comedic
say
element?
we say one-liners, I'm talking like Thanos style, okay? Like your failure brought you back to me type of one-liners.
Right.
Like who had it for you?
I see. For me, I feel like every character ended up kind of showing up and having a moment like that. And one of the things I love about books and stories and writing so much is that inside of the space of a whole world and a whole big story, you can make these moments for this sort of like micro truth, this like tiny thing that maybe resonates really deeply within me as a writer or somebody wherever they are. And it's like a breadcrumb. Like honestly, sometimes it's something that you could almost like remove from the story and the plot would not change. But it's this beautiful moment of like true that happens. And I remember there's one, I don't even remember where it is in the story or what the context is, and we don't even need to say because that'd be spoilery anyway. But at one point, I think it's Rue, she says something like, people can be so unkind to the things that they don't know.
Mm.
I was like,
I remember that.
and it was just one of these moments that was like, yeah, they can. And yeah, that sucks. And you know what? That sentence should be there. And it's nice to have it exist and resonate. Even one of my favorite lines is Kane's when he says to Rue, if you can look away, if you can't, please remember that this is not who I am. a lot of people have already read it and quote that line, but my favorite line might actually be Asher's line immediately following that. Asher says, "Not all of you anyway." And that speaks to the fact that we are all more than one thing, and that we are that is a part of who he is. You don't get to just be not that thing. You have to own that too, Kane. And Ian Asher does it in that glib kind of smug way that he does, but underneath that sardonic voice is a truth. It's part of you. Hey, it's not all of you, but it's part of you, and you got to carry all that with you. And
I'm so happy you brought that part up, because for me that was so, like, I felt his like his pain and almost like the shame in that, right? That like he was about to do that, and that she was about to witness that part of him. Like, he just knew, like, she loved him so much and he didn't want her to, see him any other way than how she's seen him up to that point. And it was such a deep, I could almost hear, I can't wait to, dive into the audiobook. I'm such an audiobook nerd, but I can't wait for that part, because I feel like that there was just so much pain in those words, and I can't wait to see that, be brought to life in the audiobook. But I'm glad that you brought that part up, because that was such a deep moment. It was a, I wouldn't say quick one, but his words, he said, it wasn't a long drawn out thing. He was just in the moment, just feeling raw and vulnerable, and just didn't want her to feel that. But it was such a pivotal moment in the book, I think, for both of them. So I'm happy that you brought that up, because that was one of my favorites.
I'm not lying. I'm taking the day off whenever this. I don't even know when the audio is coming out.
The 7th,
isn't it?
7th?
Oh, 7th.
Okay,
Yeah.
7th of
I think.
October.
Yeah.
Is that a
Oh,
weekday?
I've got a countdown on my phone. I'm
I
ready.
didn't even know. Is that a weekday?
I got a sneak
It don't matter.
Yeah, who cares? Vacation day.
Yeah.
It matters. I'll tell you why it
It's a
matters.
self-care day.
I'm taking it off. I'm taking it
Yeah.
off, because you know what? I feel like this is gonna be worse than Ravenhood, like in the best, most beautiful way. But Ravenhood, I was in the bed, like trying to explain to my family that I just went through so much reading these books.
Listen, that's like we could have a whole thing just on
Joe,
The entire
pain.
Y'all bring it back in. Bring it
Yeah.
back in, y'all.
listen, I
Come
have
back
to
home.
say it. Your performance in Ravenhood, I have never cried in a book, ever. I've never cried with a book. Ever, 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 ever. Apparently, I'm a harsh critic if you ask the book club. I don't give many books more than 3 stars. So if you go back and you look at my ARC review, that's actually really big, because if you ask all these ladies here, nothing gets more than 3 stars with me. Like, it's Jamesha's laughing because it's like a constant thing. I'm sorry.
Now, I'm the opposite. I give them out like candy. I'm just a,
M&Ms. Like,
and I don't say that in a way that's like, I guess, my whole thing is I'm like in that story. Like, I appreciate each individual story for its own beauty and its own pain and its own trials and tribulations and whatever. So I'm just like along for the ride. So once I'm at the end of a book, I'm just like, dang, I was in it, So I just appreciate it, each thing for its own. But I think we are all the people that read Ravenhood, it was intense.
I will say, Joe and DJ, I do too. I have a thing about the main female character, and Joe, just how even earlier you're like, men are so quick to speak, before women, XYZ. I am very much the same way of like, I just believe that women are fucking badass a lot of the time. And when I read a book where the woman needs the guy to save her, or the woman just doesn't take up, like, I'm not going to name the book, but there was a book where this woman had all the powers in the world and didn't use it for the whole series. It was very frustrating, because you're a fucking badass and you're letting your boyfriend do everything. So I appreciate a badass main character that's a female. I appreciate when people don't need someone else necessarily. Like, they come into their own. Like, character development is a big thing for me. Layered plot is a big thing for me. Like, I I'm okay with smut. Like it's a bonus for me. But I just really appreciate when people recognize their own strength and take that shit and run with it. Like that's just me. So if that doesn't happen, it just takes off a star for me. Alea is very much when we have our book review at the end of the month, she's like, but the author wrote a book.
Yeah.
Like this person wrote a book, Kaya.
A whole damn book.
Give them a star because they wrote a book. Joe, I'm trying to get you to say fuck because I just love but they wrote a fucking book, okay? Like, okay, fine. I give them 2 extra stars for that. But I appreciate a badass woman. I do. And DJ Queen, you are fucking it, dude. Like, you're badass. I love
And I
like,
guess that I would say that's something that I did learn is from Kaya, and it because she does kind of she wants to pull that the story. She wants a story. She wants something to bring her in. So I guess that is another beautiful thing about being in the sisterhood is seeing everybody's different perspectives. And it really did on the last book that I read. I really was like, okay, I'm gonna really take every moment and really analyze it, and see, if I'm still handing out, 5 stars like I'm Oprah, So that was something that I appreciate from her is that she did kind of teach me to like really actually, apart from somebody writing a book and it being great and being along for the ride, really take in the story and really look at, each small intricate thing. So I did, that's something that, I learned from her and, being a little bit harsher of a critic, it just means you're feeling these things deeper.
And I'm over here
Beautiful.
talking to the characters while I'm grocery shopping. Like we're actual literal best friends. So I will always hand out 5 stars because we're besties while I'm shopping.
Yeah. I won't change much. I won't
Yeah.
deviate much from my 5-star readings,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Love that.
Well, thank you guys. I mean, I feel like I understand Graham and appreciate Graham even deeper now, kind of seeing your guys' behind the scenes, how you guys felt writing things. I mean, obviously, you guys having an emotional reaction and feelings and stuff while you're writing it and knowing those things, makes you more connected to the characters and more connected to the story. So, thank you guys so much for coming in and joining us and giving that vulnerability and, letting us see those sides. Is it really does make the book mean more. So I really appreciate it.
I would say ending. DJ and Joe, what is something you wish someone would ask you about Graham? Or bring up, or something that just hasn't been talked about yet? DJ, we're going to ask you first because we know Joe is a gentleman. So,
Putting me on the spot all night. Let me think.
It's okay to shine.
What's something that I wish people would ask me about Grimm?
or even something you want to just mention that you haven't got to mention in the news space.
I can't really think of anything that hasn't been mentioned. Everybody's questions have been so thought out.
That's a good thing. That's a good.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. Joe, what about you?
I don't create anything with an expectation that I will receive something specific back, which is to say that I'm grateful to be in a position where I feel strong enough and brave enough to put things out into the world. And once that's happened, they belong to everyone else. And so my answer to your question would be, I want to hear whatever anybody wants to tell me about that story. I've said all I have to say, and I just want to listen. And I love hearing the way moments and phrases and characters resonate with somebody else. Um, I've done what I can do here. DJ and I have worked to put this out, and now it's yours. And so tell me what moves you. Tell me what you're thinking about. Um, I'm listening. My ears are always open, and I'm very grateful for that.
Would you rather, so when you say listening, do you want everyone to like tag you in their videos? Do you want them to send you messages? Like, what's your preferred method of
Way
this?
to receive it.
From experience,
Yeah.
I mean, you've been commenting, sharing, like anything. I want to say I made like 3, 4 videos for Graham, and I woke up the next morning. I was like, oh, okay, Joe, we got time. Like, we got time. We're commenting, sharing. Like, that was beautiful. What's
I
your
want
preferred way?
I want the whole world to know about this story. I want everyone in the universe to talk about this book. And so if I can spend an extra 20 minutes liking and commenting and responding to every person's comments on socials, then I'm going to try and do that. I really appreciate it, and I'm extremely grateful when somebody uses their voice and their platform to shine their light on something that I've lent my voice to the extent that those comments are positive and or critical in a compelling way. I'm very happy to be tagged in those spaces. I think any author will tell you you're welcome to your opinion, and if it is going to be aggressively antagonistic, then perhaps not inviting the creator into that space is the kind way to go about sharing it. But when it is leading with kindness, or when it does shine a light on something that you liked, I'm very grateful to be tagged in that, and I love to hear those things there. I do the best I can to respond to emails that I receive. That is the space that like allows me the most opportunity to catalog it. I actually have my team. I've got a team of people that help me manage my schedule and things, and there's 2 times a month that is set aside for me to respond to email messages. So that's an easier place for me to see them. And when I'm at live events, I relish those opportunities to get a chance to listen, to hear somebody's story, and to hear how my work has affected them. And again, with this story in particular, I know all the moments and the moods and the modes that have moved me. And I look forward to years and years and years of getting to hear people share what they loved and what moved them about this story.
Love that so much. I do want to shout out your team. Jane and Kelly
Janie,
are amazing. They had us in full blown tears. They made time to call us before the interview. We like did a rundown of, all the things, but that wasn't even why they called. Like they called to make sure that like we were okay. Like we were like, okay, we received your questions. Thanks for your questions. Like they are the sweetest, most amazing women we've interacted with in planning any interview. And we've interviewed quite a few people. Those two were, I told them, I said, I'm going to shout you out on the call. I hope you're here. So I don't know if they're here, but they had us in tears. Like they were, I didn't know that Jane was previously a military spouse as well. I didn't know, like I learned their backstories. They're like, yeah, let's continue to partner in the future. Like they, really incredible women with beautiful backgrounds, and the way that they just took care with us and truly, I mean, everything they said about the sisterhood, I was like, I didn't even know that they knew about us. Like that was pretty cool. Or that you knew about us. Like that was really beautiful. It got us really excited and just in a really safe space and comfortable space, because some of the girls were nervous about today, and I mean, all of us were in a way. And the way they put us at ease, the way that they spoke about you, the way that they just showed up in general was, we wrote them all thank you notes. So Jane and Kelly, they're amazing.
Janie and Kelly and Danielle are incredible. I also have a online community, Patreon. I think Miss Jazzy Bear, did you say you're in there in the audio attic?
Tara is too, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm using Jazzy Bear's account, but yeah, I am. I'm Tara.
Okay. We have, I also have, there's a team of moderators in there. There's people that lend their voice and their support in a lot of ways. But I'm very, very grateful, very lucky, and very happy to have Janie, Kelly, and Danielle in my corner, advocating for, championing the work, keeping me focused, and making sure that other voices are heard too. Like they make sure that messages get to me, and that's really awesome. So thanks to them always. It's always we, not me. If you've spent any time with me, you know that the first person plural is the only way I roll. So he says using the first person singular in a sentence.
Well, thanks to Kelly and Zany, Jess, one of the sisters in the sisterhood, one of our vice presidents, she will be attending. They gifted her with a ticket to your event in New Orleans. I'm gonna, definitely, if you don't mind going over that again, but Jess will be bringing you your gift in person.
I was told that, and Janie and Kelly told me that the immediate response was, she's not just going to deliver them. Which night will she come? We're going to make sure that there's a seat in the theater for her on us. So we're very happy to host you, Jess, and I'm very appreciative for all of the very extremely thoughtful gifts that you all put together.
Thank you for allowing me to share in the space with you and being able to see you in your moment. Thanks for being here with us. DJ, thanks for sharing space with us, you guys.
100%. Thank you.
Thank you guys so
for
much.
having me.
Thank you. This has been one of the best interviews, discussions, conversations that I've been a part of. Your level of intentionality and care is heard in every single word. The idea that all of you have found your own sort of space and energy that you use together, it's like a Captain Planet Voltron. Like I don't know what the it's just all of you together really do shine a much more massive light and give forth so much more strength. And even the fact that we've had almost 2 hours of conversation and there haven't been all these moments where everybody's like talking over top of each other. You all are dialed into each other. You are the mirror exercise made manifest. You move symbiotically, you hear each other without speaking, and it is a joy to be in your presence. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I thought we were going to end happy, Joe.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to end with tears.
Well, we will. So we always end with every person we interview with. Do you have any questions for us? Because we don't want to leave you with any curiosity. Do you have any questions for us? I don't know if we covered everything already, so don't feel bad if you don't, DJ or Joe. But do you have any questions for us before we go?
We want you to feel full. Like you got the full Moonlit experience.
Well,
How about the origin story of the moon, or maybe just like a brief moment on like what the moon means to each of you, because the moon is an image and a symbol that has a lot of power for me, and in the audio attic, we've experienced a lot of its power too. So
Yeah, I would say just raw power and beauty. I mean, there's so much light. And I feel like you can really just sit and observe and you can just feel. I mean, obviously, like it makes you feel small, not in just a physical sense, but in an emotional sense. It's just filled with so much beauty and light. And I mean, I could sit by the ocean, listen to the water, and stare at the moon for hours. It's just, there's so much beauty in it.
Yeah, I am honestly, when I was looking for names, I've always been a night owl. I've always been everything that has happened to me and shaped me into the person that I am today. I'm very big in astrology, like this, all the things, and for me, it just represented a really strong part of us. There's cultural ties, there's ties to women in general, women in the moon. It's a whole thing, but long story short, it empowers us. So when we live in the margins, right? Like we all, what centers us is books and stories. So I just felt like the moon needed to be included in that. So when I was forming our name, it was the Moonlit Margins. It just hit. So we kept it.
Somebody's dogs are about this moon right
I
now.
know. I'm so sorry. I was like, please tell me this isn't happening. I will say super fast before. Oh my, I'm muting. Hang on,
Please,
guys.
no,
Hang
no, no,
on.
no, no, Becky. I saw you start to speak, and you gave grace and deference to Queen Moon, and so
Well,
never mind the dogs. The dogs feel the energy of the moon too. We want to hear from you before you put
so
yourself on mute.
thank you, Joe. So so Lincoln is having a heyday. He's about ready to get his full name yelled at him. I'm so sorry. So for me, the moon was always my light when it was the darkest. I could always like count on it to be there. And then when my granddaughter was born, she's 2.5 now, and she is obsessed with the moon and stars now. Oh, Lincoln Matthew.
It's not that
So,
loud for us. It's
oh,
only
good.
loud for you.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
only loud for you.
So when Alina, my granddaughter, when she started to discover the stars and started to discover the moon, it brought a whole new light of just being able to like see from a child's eyes. So it kind of became more powerful with me with my granddaughter. But for me, it was always my light, no matter what, no matter how dark anything felt, because I am a night owl also. It was there, and it was kind of it shines. So I'm gonna cry. So I'm just gonna stop.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
I think for me, it means more of reset and pause. I have always been go, go, go. When the sun is up, I'm up. It's nonstop. As soon as your head wakes up in the morning, like, you don't have a second to like pause, be yourself, relax, because I'm constantly doing things. As a mom, as a wife, like I'm constantly moving. So once the moon is up and I can take that time for myself and just decompress and find myself and my center, like, that's the most calming time for me.
I think for me, the moon is my silent witness, the keeper of my secrets, and I'm simply like a sappy, sodden admirer of hers. You know?
I love that.
Oh, I love that, Jess. Is that me? Is it
Yeah,
me?
Miss Jazzy Bear, we're on you. Oh, we got chapters down in the corner here too.
Um, Gosh, the moon, there's a sense of, for me, first of all, the moon is just absolutely beautiful. I feel like there's a sense of purity and authenticity about it, that I do a lot of self-reflection when I'm looking at the moon. And it's like it knows me. I know that sounds kind of odd, but when I do the self-reflection, it's almost like there's a different part of me that the moon knows that talks to me when I'm with it, when it's just me and the moon. That makes any sense. But
Thank you, Kara. That's beautiful. Mafe, you come off mute. You've been modding the chat like a freaking Z, man. Oh my
Yeah, you
god.
are. Yeah, you are.
So for me, the moon is basically divine feminine energy. There's different faces to the moon, and each one has a meaning. And I truly believe that each of us is a different face, but we're perfect together, like a puzzle. I always say it, and we're just this feminine. Some of us are intuitive. Some of us are nurturing, and I just think that together, when we coexist with each other, it just makes a perfect sisterhood. So
You don't hear her speak often, but when you do,
It's
She
perfection
does.
every
Bars.
time.
Good Lord.
What? Yeah, she does.
We love you, Mafe. We love you.
Fucking love you, dude. DJ, do you have a question for us? We don't want to,
No, that's actually that was going to be my question. Was your name? It was a unique name. So I was curious about it.
Oh. We try. We try.
Can I
Yeah.
just share one thing that nobody said about the moon that I think may also be true? I feel like, don't we all look better under moonlight?
Oh, for
Hell
sure.
yes.
Like,
Facts.
Oh my gosh.
thank you, Moon, for making all of us look so damn fine.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Y'all are amazing. Well, everybody, if you haven't already, definitely read Grimm. I'm gonna put it up
Yes.
here.
Audiobook comes out October 7th.
Exactly.
There were
So
some questions in the comments about
I
it.
still recommend the physical copy, y'all. Like I'm ready for it. I am ready for
Be
it.
ready to put the audiobook. Like I said, I've heard
Yeah,
her
I
last
have.
week, so
I'm
it's
here
good.
for it. I'm here for it. I do have, and I also want to thank you for that too, Joe. When I was talking to Jamie and Kelly, so as you know, my husband is active duty Navy. He's currently on a 6+ month deployment. We have no idea when he's coming home at this point. And when I was talking to your team, they were saying, we can give them a code to listen to a book while they're on deployment, and just your overall support for women, you, DJ Krimmer, y'all's support for your community is just mind blowing. Like, we were all debriefing after my call with Jamie and Kelly, and we were just blown away. We sat with that for a minute. Like, hey, we'll support the Navy. Hey, we support you. Hey, we love the sisterhood. Tell us more about it. Like, for our first partnership, I'm gonna try not to cry. For our first collaboration partnership, this is really mind blowing. I mean, it's not that we didn't think y'all were amazing. I think that y'all just blew us away. It's been really beautiful. So if y'all haven't already, pick up Grimm. Definitely order it on. I want to say it's on KU, right? I mean, I got it from Amazon, but
It's in KU, and it's available for purchase, the physical copy, in the Amazon shop, as well as on Barnes & Noble and a couple other e-retailers. Yeah, so you can pick that up there, and the audio is dropping on the 7th. Everyone should do themselves the way they want to do themselves, storytelling wise. I really appreciate those folks that found the story through some of my voice work and are spending time with the words themselves before the audio comes out. That means a lot to me, for what that's worth. So yeah, we were very intentional about releasing the audio after the book had been out for a while, because we want people to hear the story in their head before they hear an incredible cast of actors bring it to life in a specific way. So to everybody that has already read it, thank you so much. To all of you who continue to celebrate it and champion it and let folks know about it, I'm deeply grateful. And I'm also counting down the days to the 7th, and hopefully a bunch more folks have read it by then, and we can all dive in to the deep end together with a fully cast, live in studio recording of
Yes,
Grimm by
that's
DJ Krimmer and
amazing.
Joe
That was
Arden.
amazing. Oh my goodness, amazing.
we're so excited. We're gonna do so. October is gonna be chock full of everything: psychological thrillers, all the things. We have one book we share together a month, but I mean, Jamaica holds the title for reading 30+ books a month. So we'll be throwing Grimm back into the mix. Probably doing a virtual Cards Against Humanity or live. All of you that follow us, you know what we do when we're on live: pajama party, Cards Against Humanity, book style. All the things. It's a good time. So thank you both for joining us. Thank you all of you that showed up and showed so much love in the comments. If you can, you can follow everyone in the group if you'd like. We share our book recommendations. We all support all things books. Thank you everyone that had time to join. And yeah, this has been amazing.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you taking out time to talk to us. Really means a
Yes,
lot.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Pleasure's all ours. Appreciate it very much.
Bye, y'all.
Go bask in that moon.
Have a good night.